Every little thing you do, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Girl, you shut me down and there's no witness. Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost and you're the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born a saint, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you. For you. For you. Falling for you. For you. For you. Falling for you. For you. For you. Falling for you. For you. All the times with you, they just fly by. All the memories pop up on my timeline. Change your colors on me like you're tie-dye. Got me falling for you, I ain't talking skydive. See you in another dimension. Can't sleep on my night's rest. Baby girl, you were my best friend. Best friend. Little thing you do, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Could you shut me down and there's no witness? Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost and you're the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born to sing, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you. For you. For you. Falling for you. For you. For you. Falling for you. For you. For you. Falling for you. For you.
Heaven sent an angel. Heaven sent an angel. Every night, every day, I put my hands together and pray that it won't be long till you come along. I've been waiting. Never give up hope. I always believed there was someone out there to fill the hole inside of me. I've been looking for love, going on hate above. You must have heard my song, 'cause heaven sent an angel.
Hello? How are you doing, Steph?
I'm tired. How are you doing?
I am also tired. I am tired from today's adventure.
From today's adventure,
Yeah, from today's adventure.
the adventure that you had today.
Yes, that one. That's the one I'm referring to.
That one.
I thought I was specific enough when I said today's adventure.
Hard to know.
Tell us all about ovoid neurons.
We discussed these 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, and all I said is that I saw that paper or something like that. I was hoping you had like fully caught up with the state of the art at this point, and then you could teach everything about it to us. All right, let me switch over to the game screen. Welcome in, everyone.
Okay.
Hello, Iris. Hello, 8-Bit. Hello, Jubilee. I'm here with Steph, and today we are playing Quantum Odyssey, I believe is the name of the game. Hang on, where is it? Odyssey. Here it is. Let me make sure I share my screen with Steph. Where is it? Here, this screen. Share. Adventure D's what? Is the 2 master quantum computers are on? Yay. I do not have a master's in quantum computing. And I suspect neither does Steph.
I think it's being used more informally than that.
GB says, did you know that today, on this day in history, Uranus was discovered? I did not know that. But
I did know that.
oh, really?
Because I did the Bracket City puzzle today, yeah.
The brackets. Oh, you did Bracket City? I only found out
Yeah.
about that like 2 nights ago. Bracket City. It looks very interesting. And I was like, you know what? I should make a crossword where every clue is a Bracket City thing. But then I was like, but
You should.
But
That'd
it'd
be
be
cool.
annoying to solve though, right? Like, cause like it's not like you'd have to do it manually. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
But Harmony Bot today said, let's see, it's March 13th. Did you know that on this day in 1980, the first successful test of a quantum computer was completed? So,
I didn't know that. I knew about Uranus, but not
but not quantum computing.
quantum computing.
Julie says, hi, Steph.
Even though I'm a master quantum computer. Hi, Jubilee. How are you doing?
Iris says, nope, I thought it was the space ducks that were discovered. Where are the space ducks? And my cat child says, was that Mewul? Mewul? I don't know what dialect of cat that is. Alright, Steph, before we completely melt our brains in quantum, because this is, I'm worried that this isn't there. This game actually uses real quantum computing concepts. I'm not sure. Like, it might be an educational game.
Okay.
Before we melt,
Cool.
let's watch 1 TikTok, maybe 2 TikToks.
Okay.
Let me pause the music here.
I will watch 1 tick or 2 talks.
All right. Well, here it is. Oops, hang on. Here it is.
And that's why I invented the burrito bone. What's the burrito bone? Exactly what it sounds like. It's a burrito, it's a bone that goes in your burrito. It makes it hard, it gives it structure, it's not gonna fall over like your best friend's niece. A lot of people say, oh wow, is a burrito bone edible? Can you eat the bone with the burrito? What? No, of course not. Think of any other food with a bone in it. When you eat a chicken wings or a rib, do you say, can't wait to eat the best part, the bone part? And then you eat the bone? Of course not. The same principle applies here. You don't eat the bone, you eat around the bone like a corn on the cob. I could have called it the burrito cob, but I like the sound of burrito bone better, so we're keeping it that. People also ask, can I reuse the bone? Can I wash the bone and use it again for another burrito? No! Do not wash the bone. It's a one use only. It'll destroy your washing machine. It'll ruin your next burrito. You eat the burrito off the bone, you throw the bone away into the trash can, then you buy another burrito bone for the next time. It's that simple. I'm tired of people asking me that. If you order now, you'll get the burrito zipper for free. It's so easy to use, you just zip the burrito closed and it keeps the inside shut tight. No, you cannot eat the burrito zipper, it's a zipper, oh my god. You gotta eat around the zipper, you gotta eat around the bone. Hey, shut up! Finally, it comes with the burrito bag. It's a bag for your burrito when you want to go somewhere with your burrito. This one's pretty normal, I haven't gotten a lot of pushback on this one. I'm not super passionate about it, but you can have it. In conclusion, I worked really hard on this. I spent a ton on manufacturing and distribution. I saved a little on marketing. So if you want one, I will not give you the number to call because it's my personal cell and I'm waiting for my doctor to call with the results for a test that I got that's private. Just look it up. I'm making a website. I had a previous website, but I forgot the name. So I'm currently in the process of moving everything over to the new website,
You saved a little bit on the marketing.
I do not need any of those products.
You don't need what but your burrito will be all floppy and it'll fall over if you don't have the burrito bone.
Yep, that's how I prefer it.
You prefer a floppy burrito? Come on.
I prefer my burritos like my best friend's niece.
Like falling over? And
Yeah.
what about the burrito zipper then? How do you what it keeps the inside the fillings from falling out because you zip it up tight.
I feel like the belt works fine.
The belt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jubilee says why. We just explained why. Otherwise your burrito flops over like your best friend's niece. Without the caption when I heard it, I thought it said your best friend's knees, and I was like, well, what? Why do your friend's knees flop over? But then I saw
I actually think it must be knees. His niece makes even less sense somehow.
Well, I think she's like a taller, like in my mental headcanon, right? It's like it's she's still learning how to walk, and so that's why she flops over sometimes. I don't know. But like, because your knees, like, why would your knees flop over? That doesn't make any sense.
Like your best friend's really old.
Yeah, but even if you're extreme, like let's say you're 108 years old, your knees don't flop over. They might they make a cracking sound or something like that when you get up or something like that, but they don't flop over.
Mine don't because they have a bone in them, but like my best friends don't.
Yeah, well, okay. In the special case where your best friend's knees don't have bones in them, then yeah, I can see why they would flop over.
Yeah.
And that's why you need the burrito bone to put in your best friend's knees. And your best friend's niece.
That sounds wrong.
8-Bit said, when was quantum computing started? Also, was it discovered, invented, or introduced, created, or developed? And what would be the proper word for the beginning of quantum computing?
1892.
Yeah,
invented Uranus.
The first test of the quantum computing was in 1980, according to HarmonyBot. So I guess here's the thing, right? Like, so when did they come up with quantum concepts? I don't know, like the 1930s, maybe. There was it Maxwell with his black body radiation crisis or something like that? Do you remember this, Steph? Or
I wasn't. Contrary to popular belief, I was not alive
from your
in
study of
1930s.
of history.
Oh, I don't remember exactly. Sounds plausible.
It's around that
Sounds
era.
more plausible
I think.
than the burrito bone.
Around that era of 1930, I think. You can Google the exact dates, I'm sure. But like Maxwell or whatever saw that there was like, he did some calculations about black body radiation, which is like how much light it should emit or something like that. And it would be like infinite if you just did it with classical physics. Like, so everybody would be burnt alive from all the radiation being emitted, like, hotter than the sun and all that. So they're like, okay, so obviously the calculations were wrong. And then, they did there was a lot of like hand wringing and consternation. And eventually they're like, oh, it's all quantum physics. We figured it out. And then like the physicists were happy again, right? That's the short version of what happened. And I guess somewhere along the way, someone was like, hey, you know what this would be good for? Computers. And so someone had the idea, right? But then the first test, according to Harmony, was 1980. So I don't know when you want to pin down the invention. Like, is it when some guy, thought of it? He's like, we could probably use this for computers. Or is it when they actually did a proof of concept, apparently in the 1980s, where they're like, hey, look, it actually works in real life. And I think maybe a lot of technology and a lot of science is like that, right? Like I think like people, like if you go on Wikipedia, probably they'll give you a date, right? Like for example, the invention of the light bulb, they'll say it was invented on this such and such a day, right? But Was that the day that the guy came up with the idea, like Thomas Edison, or was it the guy where he actually built it for the first time, or what? You know?
So I'm feeling like, please help me if anyone knows if this is true or not, or if I'm just hallucinating this. Would you say that Claude Shannon was a developer of quantum computing?
I
Was a
I don't
inspiration?
I don't associate his name with quantum computing, so maybe he did some stuff with quantum computing, but I didn't. You know, it didn't occur to me. Like if you had a true or false, you know, this guy is involved with quantum computing, I'd be like, false, you know, like. He's the guy who came up with Shannon entropy, right? Like the measure of information and things like that. Yes. And so, like, you know, there's probably some overlap with quantum computing, but I don't think of him as a quantum computing person.
Gotcha. I read the book, The Information,
Okay.
and it introduced me to Claude Shannon, and I feel like there was a link to quantum computing discussed in the book, but unfortunately, I don't remember it enough to know if I'm right.
It's because you don't use the Zettel-Kessin method or whatever, Steph. Not like me. I always retain everything I read, thanks to my Zettel-Kessin
I just
notes.
put it all
You just it's
in my burrito bowl.
And then you watch your TikToks, and then your brain rots, and you don't recall anything.
That's a good point.
Anyway,
Claude Shannon was busy in the 1940s and 50s.
Okay.
If he is involved. He may not be.
Okay. That narrows it down a little bit, right? That gives us helps us pinpoint the dates.
Gets us pretty close. Some guy who may or may not have been involved, may or may not.
Did an unrelated discovery, but we don't know what discovery. He did something in the 1940s. We don't know what though.
Like he did something.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. You should look into it.
A little best to redeem hydrate. So let's hydrate real quick. I'm hydrating right now. Oh yeah, Jubilee redeems Save a Child's Life in Real Life. Every time someone does it, we donate $5 to the Against Malaria Foundation, which provides mosquito nested children at risk of malaria. So you just save a child's life in real life. And then Heartless System or Iris redeemed stretch. So let me stretch real quick. 8-Bit asked Harmony when was the first concept or idea of quantum computing? And Harmony says, the concept of quantum computing dates back to the early 1980s when physicist Richard Feynman proposed the idea that classical computers are not efficient for simulating quantum systems. Around the same time, David Deutsch further developed the theoretical framework for quantum computers. It took a few more decades for practical development to begin emerging in the field.
Interesting.
All right, let's start the game, I guess. And maybe we'll even learn something.
Based on our knowledge, we're going to do well.
Well, you don't need to know the history of math to learn math, right? So maybe you don't need to learn the history of quantum computing to learn quantum computing. You ask me if I'm sure? I'm pretty sure. I feel like you could independently invent math, like, in principle, without knowing any of the history of math.
Agree to disagree.
Give me your thesis and your arguments.
I think, I don't have one.
Okay. That logo was one of the famous quantum experiments.
Grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower.
They had like 3 polarizing filters.
In an hour.
Anyway.
By codes of grace, quantum secrets grand. Here, Axioms Assembly welcomes thee to stand. For in a grain of sand lies a universe unplanned. Under your sentient hand, worlds shape at your command.
Is this a poem?
I think so. You stand at the threshold of the quantum playground where the fabric of reality bends. and time holds no sway. Before you embark, tell us, what should we call you? Set nickname, 15 characters. How about Naboo? Notification user has been created. Naboo, visit Discord. Descend, play ranked, Forge, Resonance. Harmonize your settings. Yeah, I want settings. I want to adjust the volume, basically. Let's put it about here. And I raise this, my mixer volume back up, maybe around here. I barely hear anything now. Nah, let's try here.
For some reason, I heard you say that you're racist, but I think you said you're raising.
Yeah, I'm raisin. I'm a raisin, like a
Raisin.
dried up grape.
Great. Like a dream deferred.
What?
Raisin in the sun.
What is that? A game I haven't played?
What happens
a
to a
movie
dream
I haven't
deferred?
seen?
It's a poem.
Seeker of Universal Truths.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be us.
Movie.
I welcome thee to our time
Oh, is that
immemorial playground. I commend your choice to begin your Odyssey in the heart of existence itself. Yeah, most of my Odysseys that I begin are within existence. Know that you are granted
Heart of it,
access to the most exalted mentors as you progress your sacred quest. I stand before you as the first of the sages, that of axioms, that as the aspect to embody irreducible truths, ideal shapes and forms from which the cosmos itself is born, only to be measured against its own imperfections. Allow me to teach you all that I know, and when you prove ready, I will come seeking your help in return. For now, I have prepared 3 tutorials on how to use the Forge. Pay attention, you should be granted immeasurable power. Alright. I like having immeasurable power. One puzzle beginner, unveiling the Forge. Alright. Unveiling the Forge. Unleash the Quantum Forge and begin your odyssey towards mastering the nature of reality. In the hands of an adequately trained smith, this device can craft quantum algorithms of immeasurable power. Start learning. Seeker, this is our Forge, the builder of worlds. It has chosen you as its new master for the longs to shape new worlds. Your odyssey to command its power begins now. Continue the tutorial to proceed. How do I continue the tutorial? Maybe this button here? Yes. I bestow upon you complete dominion over our Forge. Let its gates swing wide, for its new champion has arrived. You're saying a lot of stuff, but not the useful stuff.
Yeah. Not a lot of words. Not a lot of meaning. A lot of
By the
words.
pulse of
No meaning.
primordial light, awaken now, Forge.
Okay.
Take a moment to familiarize yourself with the hotkeys. Use WASD to pan the camera, press F key to recenter it. Okay. Here I am panning the camera. And here I am recentering it. Zoom in aggressively, scroll the mouse wheel anywhere. Okay, perfect. Behold the Forge's first sigil, falling uninterrupted through a single indivisible unit of time. Observe its color, shape, and movement, blue, round, and trapped in a cycle of constant falling. You can press a spacebar to pause the sigil and left right arrows to decrease or increase its speed. Alright, pause, and then resume. Pause the sigil, now hover your cursor over it. Is the sigil the circle thing? I guess it is, right? The sigil is the most fundamental unit of quantum information in our universe. It's a vector, meaning it has both a magnitude and direction. Here's what it tells you right now. Magnitude 1, displayed on the cursor. Like this number here in the box, I guess. Direction from, what is that? Like, cat 0 to cat 0? Is that what it's saying? Found, shown on your cursor. Okay, so I guess a number, I don't know which one's the from and which one's the to, but the number above and below the circles, I think. You see that cat notation everywhere called cat. Yeah, okay. Seeker, you're made to speak quantum. Read the 0 as cat 0 and read that as cat 1. Cat's like 101 as cat 101. Okay, ignore the cat symbol, just focus on the number inside. This is called it's called bracket. When it's like greater than a number and then a vertical line, that's the bra. And then when it's a vertical line and then a number and then the lesson symbol, it's the ket bracket. That's the mnemonic that I use. Unpause the sigil by pressing spacebar again when you're done and continue reading. So I think this is the education. I think this is all real because they're using ket notation.
All right.
Know that information is persistent in our universe and never gets destroyed, nor can it be created. Everything that exists will always exist, albeit in a different form. Information simply transforms, gets altered, or through the forge is manipulated. You're blessed with the power to manipulate both the magnitude and direction of your sigil through the circuit configuration. To achieve this, you will be granted quantum gates here whenever you become ready for more. Hover over the empty slot to observe how it relates to the unit of time that the sigil falls through. Over this. Toggle circuit configuration. Press tab. I don't really get this part, but okay. Seeker, I now grant you your first quantum gate in the circuit configuration. When you feel ready to proceed further, drag this gate to the empty slot. Observe how its painting applies a directional change to sigil from ket 0 to ket 1. Einstein was confused, not the quantum theory, says Stephen Hawking. All right. Your cosmic keys. Dwell deeper into the inner workings of your forge. Find out how state grabbers and space switches will become useful in designing quantum algorithms. Discover your knowledge vault. These fundamentals will get you all set to begin your training on what quantum gates can do. Sure. Now we will discuss quantum gates and how to interpret their design in the forge. Universal quantum gates, the axioms of change, modify sigil's information and the path it takes. Quantum gates are quantum computing's foundational axioms. Just as language emerged from letters, quantum algorithms emerge as a combination of quantum gates placed in a meaningful sequence. You may find that with gates you can define all changes in the universe. You may find that human endeavors could be represented through a series of quantum gates and sigils. Observe there are several gates already present in the circuit. One of them is fixed, the rest can be manipulated. The fixed gate in these... Oh, 8-bit wrote something and it's blocking my tutorial a little bit. What did he write? He wrote, remember we talked about cursive? Well, another channel was talking about how cursive isn't taught, and I thought to myself, why was cursive even started in the first place? What everyday use is there besides fancy writing in everyday situation? Because cursive kind of died off. I don't know if it's still taught, but my generation, well, our generation, I remember in elementary, it was an essential part of curriculum. I feel like maybe... Actually, I was going to say, did cursive predate printed letters? Like, but no, it doesn't, right? Because the Roman letters look like printed letters.
Yeah. No, it's specifically a way to write faster.
There's like a shorthand in a way. Julie says cursive keeps your pen from raising from the paper.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to lift your pen up.
Tutorial says the fixed gate in the circuit configuration are placed by the sages to facilitate your training. They can never be removed. Or maybe the red one's the fixed one, I guess. To remove gates that are not fixed, either right-click individual gates in the circuit configuration or click the clear circuit button. Alright, let's clear it, I guess. Everything we see is inside our own head, says Buckminster Fuller. Puzzles comes in set with theory on the right. You're on puzzle 2 of this set. Use the bomb left in the mirror in the circuit configuration tab key to switch between puzzles. The Forge visuals have all the info you need. I highly recommend reading the first note in each tutorial puzzle. Beyond that, optional. Only if you crave deeper quantum secrets and enjoy seeing math. Stuck? Revisit Lucky Solves, try another path, or look for easy puzzles in the quantum arena. Mastering the universe's logic is like a Rubik's Cube. Most give up, seeing only trial and error. Good solvers average 7 seconds, expert 3.13. Top solvers don't rely on luck. They find higher patterns. None of these seekers on the leaderboard do math or get lucky. This journey lets you play with the laws of our universe. Maybe I'll show you math is never scary, just poorly taught. Julie says my brain hurts. The Forge manifests the full quantum Hilbert space view over the circuit in it, all possible paths the sigil can take. There's another view that we sages call the state view. This will only show you the path the sigil takes. You can switch the forge to show either the Hilbert or the state space by clicking on either of the pins that display bit string sequences under which sigils spawn. What? Everseeker tool. This will display how the state override triggers and possibly preview background mathematics. Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. It said if I click this, I can switch between Hilbert and state space. I guess this is state space, which is showing the path it actually takes. And this is Hilbert, which is all possible paths it can take. Often the circuit becomes long and you will find that your interests are focused solely on altering the bottom part. In such cases, know that you can modify the spotting position of the sigil by using the advanced circuit tool. Hover over red words for definition, click to open their Cosmic Vault entry. These are quantum concepts you unlock. To finish the tutorial, drag one X gate into the circuit configuration. Take your time. Tutorials are for learning, not speed. Rushing has no rewards and might cost you later. Red words appear in related context, so explore when curious. You'll see them hundreds of times, and the sages don't expect you to read everything at once or at all if you're just here to enjoy the puzzles and only build your quantum intuition. So here's the thing, like my quote-unquote criticism so far of this pedagogical technique, right? Which is I don't know what the goal is yet. They never told me that, right? So this is drag an X in, so like, okay, I'll drag an X in. But like, am I trying to get the particle to end up here or what? You know, like I don't know what the goal of the puzzle is yet.
My criticism is that I am pretty sure you are reading to me the fine print of a vacuum cleaner's instruction manual.
It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with the problems longer. That says Albert Einstein. So Albert is claiming that the reason he succeeded, I guess, where most of us failed, is conation, right?
Yep. He often made similar ridiculous claims.
You could think of it as typical mind fallacy, right? Like he thinks that because he could figure it out, anybody could figure it out.
Right, if they just spent long enough with it.
Yeah.
As a patent clerk.
Conclude your foundational.
All the patent clerks.
If they just stayed a little longer, they would have figured it out.
Like 3 or 4 more minutes. Come on, dudes.
Conclude your foundational training over the Forge's core capabilities. Discover how to interpret the sigils and their interactions with the quantum gates. Realize that the Forge is manifested mathematics, a visual spectacle of the precise multiplication rules of long vector and large matrices filled to the brim with complex numbers. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Steph, it's like to teach quantum computing is already going to probably take it's already going to be pretty verbose, right? So yeah. Why use flowery language that makes it even more verbose, right? Like,
right.
Because I mean, we're on level 3 here, and I still don't know what any of the gates do, or like looking at this, how to read what is the objective of the puzzle. You know, like how do I know what I'm trying to do?
Are we winning? Are we winning? I can't remember.
Seeker, before we start,
you're doing good, right?
Well, I mean, we're going through a tutorial. Seeker, before we start your formal training in quantum computing, let's briefly touch on the last remaining details about your forge. Quantum sigils can experience up to 3 interactions: path change, color change, merge, or split. The atlas explains their color cycling. Note that sigils can hold up to 2 of the 4 colors. You can observe these colors in the current forge configuration. These sigils are vectors of complex numbers in visual form. Their directions are given by the ket that appears when you hover over them. Their size is given by the magnitude of the complex number within. Their colors are the sign value of their real and imaginary components of the magnitude. Okay.
What?
So you know complex numbers are composed of like a real part and an imaginary part?
Sure.
And the real part
how does that relate to
can be positive or negative, and the imaginary part can be positive or negative.
Okay.
So he said there's 4 colors, and I guess the 4 colors represent those 4 possibilities, right? Like they're like if I say the real number first and then the imaginary number second, it could be positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, or negative, negative, right? I think that's what he's saying.
I'm 8% with you so far. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, why it matters, but I think that's what he's saying. That like the sentence is the sign values of the real and imaginary components of the magnitude is what the colors are. So there's four
Okay.
possible signs, right? Like combinations, but you have two numbers. So there's four colors. Your forge is able to create complete visual equivalent of all the mathematics and code that goes into the creation of quantum algorithms. As you solve more puzzles, you might start to develop an intuition for linear algebra even without realizing it. Over time, you'll naturally get a feel for how complex numbers add and multiply, key skills in quantum mechanics. Don't worry about the math, your visual intuition is all you need to play. Scroll using the mouse wheel at the bottom of the circuit configuration. Complete this quantum circuit by dragging to the empty slot the gate holding 4 lines that look fit to collide the sigils. Use the atlas whenever you need to refresh your memory throughout the journey. So there's an empty slot somewhere. I guess it must be this one. He said look at the one that looks like they're going to collide. So I guess this one maybe?
Okay.
Is this the Hamiltonian? Because it has an H on it. One of the gate types is called Hamiltonian, and I'm wondering if that's what that is. I guess we solved the puzzle. You can't better the world by simply talking to it. Philosophy, to be effective, must be mechanically applied, says Buckminster Fuller. You know what? I'm scared. I haven't read this message yet. It's still loading. They're going to say, congratulations, you finished the tutorial. Now here are the real puzzles. That's good. You've kindled the forge. I'm the missing sage. I don't need titles or rules, and neither do you. You live for the challenge, for the thrill. You didn't come here to sit through lectures or memorize some old sage's definitions. You came to play around with quantum itself, to bend it, break it, and make it yours. The sages think they've got it all figured out. They throw names at things they barely understand, but you know better. If you're sick of the endless talk, thank them for the tutorial and walk away. Come with me. No rules, no lectures. I offer raw chaos, a challenge that's all about instinct. Together we'll whip through the patterns they're too scared to touch. Forget their dogma, forget the rules. With me, we won't follow a path, we'll forge your own. I'm not here to give you easy answers, I'm here to set you free. Right?
Like, was there another option?
Nope. Congratulations, Seeker. You finished the tutorial, now you're on your own, right? No. The forge now responds to your touch. Ahead lies an expedition into the realm of universal quantum gates, the building blocks of algorithms that bend the fabric of reality itself. I've prepared your first lesson in quantum computing to guide you towards mastery over your inaugural gate. Once you conquer the path will open wider, leading you ever closer to the council of the sages, ancient guardians of knowledge beyond mortal comprehension. You draw nearer to unraveling the cosmos' most enigmatic mysteries with each new gate you surmount. The Quantum Odyssey calls to you, Seeker. Embrace your destiny, for greatness and glory awaits. Alright. Wait, do I go here or do I go there? 8 puzzles beginner, poly X gates. Single qubit system experience, 11 puzzles. Any preference, Steph?
Nope.
Let's do poly X gates, I guess. Poly X, I guess the X is for exclusion, maybe? Poly exclusion principle is a reference to. You're now ready to begin your quantum gates training and receive your first gate. The X gate, or poly X gate, is a quantum gate that flips the state of a qubit. It changes the state from ket 0 to ket 1 and from ket 1 to ket 0, similar to the classical NOT gate. Alright. Sounds straightforward enough.
Yeah.
Puzzles are mathematically correct problems. Input sigils properties at creation. Output the fixed sigil at the bottom. Goal, align the falling sigil with the fixed one. You get additional rewards if you design shorter algorithms than what's known. The X gate makes the sigil cross the 0 and 1, ket 0 and ket 1 state of a bit. Added to make the directional change happen. So this thing has like a picture of a sigil in it, and this has like, I don't know, a bird or a falcon or something like that in it. So I'm wondering if that means they, this is how they indicate the goal, right? They're saying the goal is to get the sigil here and maybe, make sure it's blue and make sure it's round and things like that.
The color is the sign.
Thank you, Steph.
No problem.
The first principle is that you
Helping.
must not fool yourself, and you are the easiest person to fool, says Richard Feynman. This is sorry, I take a sip of my drink here. This is something I've been
You're hydrating without being told?
yeah. Sometimes I do actions independently.
Wow.
This is something I've been contemplating lately.
Okay.
Like what knowing whether or not you know or understand something is a skill that one should develop or one can develop, right?
Sure.
Like an example comes to mind is you might say like, why is there no moon around Mercury or something like that, right? Like, and then so you type in the search engine and Google AI answers you, and it says something about the solar winds of the sun have stripped away the hydrogen in the atmosphere of Mercury. So you could read that and say, oh, now I know why there's no moon formation, right? No moon formed around Mercury. The reason is the solar winds stripped away the hydrogen formation in the atmosphere. But like, I feel like, no, you don't know why, because what does the hydrogen in the atmosphere have anything to do with moon formation, right? Unless you can answer that, then no, you don't know why there's no moon that formed around Mercury. And it's not obvious, I guess. Like that realization is obvious. You have to like, I don't know what you have to do. Do you have to think about it, or like it has to be like some sort of inspirational spark, or it's a habit that you train in yourself? Like how do you, if someone were not to realize that they didn't actually understand moon formation, how could they start to realize that? Like, what training could they do to develop a relevant skill?
It's sometimes called the illusion of competence, right? You think you know how things work. The original studies were done with things like ballpoint pens, zippers, toilets.
Yeah.
They asked people like, "Hey, do you know how these things work?" And everybody was like, "Hell yeah, I know how those things work. I use a pen successfully every day." And so then what they did to test this, because they were like, "How are we going to test if people actually really do know these things?" They tried to get them to describe it, but people weren't very good at describing it, whether they knew it or not. So the solution they came up with is they had them draw how these things worked.
Yeah. I remember.
Even if they're sort of. You remember?
How does a bicycle work? And they draw a bicycle. And like it doesn't make any sense what they drew. Like there's no way it will work. Because like, for example,
oh god,
like the pedal has like there's a gear and there's a tire, but then they're not connected.
Right.
So how would pedaling cause the wheel to turn? Like it doesn't make
Yep. Yeah. And then you try to draw the chain, and you're like, oh dang, I don't even know what does it go to the handlebars? I'm not. Yeah. Yes, and they found that it works really well even for verbalized concepts. So I think a way that you could start doing it is to say like, okay, could I draw a situation in which Mercury did have a moon? Could I draw a situation in which the Earth, like something happened to the Earth and it didn't anymore? Could I, like when they say hydrogen, could I draw what that is, right? So I think that's one way that you could do it, because drawing sort of forces concreteness. It forces precision that verbalizing concepts doesn't necessarily. So that might be one possibility. Feynman was also famous for suggesting people draw things out.
That's interesting. Because I feel like I vaguely understand moon formation. And I don't see how I would draw that moon formation. Like,
well, how would you explain moon formation?
I think it's like there's when the solar system, like in the early days, it was like just a bunch of random particles, like a cloud of gas type of thing. dust particle floating around the sun. I don't even know if the sun is formed yet or not at this point, but I'm gonna assume for now that the sun is formed. And so the particles are swirling around the sun in like a disc, like a dinner plate, like a flat disc like that.
Okay.
And then like clumps of it start to form in those discs, and those become the bodies, like, which I'm using a more generic term, bodies, because like some of them then become planets and some of them become moons. And the ones that become moons are the ones that are close to something like a bigger brother, like a bigger thing, right? And so it gets captured by that bigger thing and then becomes a moon of that.
Yeah, and I think that's all drawable, don't you think?
I feel like it would have to be an animation in a sense, right? Like,
Sure. But you're sort of like, you're thinking as you're drawing, or, kind of imagining what the animation would look like.
yeah,
You're sort of like, well, what makes it so that the things start to clump, right? And then
Yeah.
you start independently developing peak selection theory math, right?
I don't know what that means, but sure. Let's say I do that. Let's say I start
Yeah.
developing peak selection theory math.
Where basically what you realize is that why would those things start clumping, right? What's happening that they're clumping together? Why would they clump rather than just bang off of each other? If you start thinking, well, they're colliding, why are they sticking together rather than just sort of billiard balling around? What's happening there? And then you start thinking about gravity, you start thinking about gradients, you start thinking about, right? And then you start realizing how much you don't know, and then you kind of add to your knowledge that way. But I think that's a good way to start checking your own knowledge is, could I draw it? The other thing people sometimes recommend is that you try to teach it to a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah. But I'm worried that you need to first develop that I don't understand it detection. Or I mean, this is how you develop it, right? So what's tricky about it,
Yep.
I feel like is if you fool yourself in the way the Feynman was talking about, into saying, oh, I understand it. It's that the solar winds wiped away the hydrogen or whatever, right?
Right.
And then what's to stop you from saying, well, I would just tell the 5-year-old that the solar winds wiped away the hydrogen, and there, I've explained it to the 5-year-old,
Right. And the best thing to do in that case is to actually get a 5-year-old, because they will quickly show you, right? And this is why you're supposed to try and teach these things. And by teach, meaning not just write a Substack, but like actually try to explain it
Wow.
to another person.
Are you calling me out here? What the heck? It's not enough to just write the Substack.
You actually get someone who says, but wait, what the hell is solar wind, right? And then you're like, or maybe you do know, but you actually have somebody there questioning and saying, like, I don't get it. Like, if they had run the tutorial of this game by me, like, I hope it would be a lot different, because I would have just been like, what the literal,
Yeah.
what are you talking about, right? And unfortunately they didn't, and so this game suffers from the curse of knowledge, where they're like, oh, we explained it great, and I'm just like, I mean, even you were like, I don't know what the goal is.
Yeah, well, now, like, it took a while to figure out, because there's, like, there's only one place where the blue dot is at the bottom. So I said, oh, I guess that's where I need to make the blue dot go. But yeah, they should have said that at some point, right? They should have said, look at the bottom. You see where the blue dot is? You want the blue dot to go there.
Go there.
Yeah.
Just play around until you get to that. And then later we'll explain to you what you're doing.
Right. And like this thing, I feel like I'm just brute forcing, because I don't understand when I place a gate here. I don't understand how to predict which wire is going to go where. So I was like, okay, I put the wire here. Did this work? No. Okay, I put the wire over there. Did that work?
And supposedly, I think they said in the tutorial, the people who are good at it aren't guessing. They're also not doing.
Yeah, they said it's not doing math. I'm like, what does that mean? Like,
yeah. Okay.
Because I remember there was also 8-bit theater like a while ago. He asked me like, how would you solve this problem? I forget what it was. It was something like you have 3 consecutive numbers, and then like if you take the average of the bottom, like they add up to 23, and you take the bottom 2 numbers or whatever, and then blah blah, right? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, so the answer is 14 or something like that. And he was like, wow, you solved it without doing math, right? And but no, I did do math. I did it in my head, right? I didn't say that, like maybe because I wasn't like mumbling numbers out loud, that there was the illusion that I wasn't doing math. But I was definitely doing math to solve that. Like I was trying to say, well, I know that there's consecutive numbers. So in my mind, I'm like, instead of saying there's 3 unknowns, I'm saying there's 1 unknown, which is x, and then x plus 1 and x plus 2, right? Those are the 3 consecutive numbers. And I'm solving for x or whatever.
And this game literally said, if you get good at it, you'll develop an intuition for linear algebra.
Which is math.
Like, I don't know if you know, but linear algebra is math.
Oh, look, I got it. If I just try every combination eventually.
Perfect. What fun.
Poly Z
I think
gate. Sorry, go ahead.
I often realize that I don't know something as well as I thought I did when somebody else tries to explain their idea, which I know is wrong, and I'm trying to explain to them why I'm wrong. And then I'm like, God damn it, I don't understand this idea well enough.
Yeah.
I know that they're wrong, but I don't know it well enough to explain to them why they're wrong.
Right.
Unfortunately, I find out limits of my knowledge that way a lot.
The thing also, going back earlier to what you were saying. Sorry, let me read this first, and then I'll get back to it. It says, from here on, your forge's bits become qubits, and you will begin developing your intuition for all things quantum. The Z gate is your first quantum-only gate. It has no analog in the classical Boolean logic you're accustomed to. So here, just pay attention, and you can do this. All right. So they're not going to tell me what the Z gate does. This gate doesn't flip a bit like the X gate. Instead, it introduces the color red. Look at the input diagram of the Z gate. What does that mean? Look at the input diagram. Or did it mean look at this? I don't know what is quote unquote the input diagram of the Z gate.
Why don't you just look at it then?
If the input is ket 0, it stays ket 0 and the wire remains blue. If the input is ket 1, it stays ket 1, but the wire turns red. Trust your intuition. If you want to turn the sigil red, apply an X gate before the Z gate. Trust your intuition. Also, here's the solution to the puzzle.
Also, why would I want to do what?
Well, like it's saying, like, when I look at the bottom, right, I think I understand how to read the solution, the goal now, right? The goal is to get the ball here, but also the ball has to be red.
Gotcha. Why not just say that?
Yeah, they use a weird flowery language. I guess they're trying to make a lore, like, like so that you feel like you're in this world of magic or whatever.
I don't feel like I'm in a world of magic. Just.
I mean, I guess it might appeal to some people.
That's helpful.
In my case, I just want to learn quantum computing, right? Like, just like forget all the mysticism, the woo, the like none of this sage stuff. Just you
don't need a sage of eternal winds or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Keep reading if you want to see the quantum theory behind this explained, which I kind of do. I want to learn the quantum. I don't care about the sage stuff. This game requires that you take your first step into quantum computing. Instead of a bit that can hold just one of two values, 0 and 1, we now have a qubit minus x ket 0 plus y ket 1, where x and y are complex numbers of the form a plus bi such that their magnitude of x squared plus magnitude of y squared equals 1. And ket 0, ket 1 are the two allowed quantum states. If there is a sigil present, either x equals 0 or y equals 0, the qubit is in a definite ket 0 or ket 1 state, identical to a bit. If x equals 0, 0 ket 0 plus y ket 1, y must be 1. If y equals 0, x ket 0 plus 0 ket 1, x must be 1. The x and y are called the amplitudes of the quantum state, visually encoded in the size and color of the sigil. You can check this by hovering your mouse over the forge. Open the circuit tools and click to see the state information. Compare the matrix of the Z gate with the visuals in the forge. See, this, I don't know what they're talking about here. Like, they're telling me to refer to UI stuff, I guess. They say, like, you know, look at the matrix of the Z gate. And I'm looking, and there's nothing like on the screen that I can see whose caption is matrix of the Z gate, right? So I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at when it says look at the matrix of the Z gate.
Yep.
The state's upper value is 1, the bottom value is 0. The tensors, oh god. Off diagonal elements are 0. Yeah, what? Okay, is it this? No, because there's no number. Well, there are numbers here. Maybe it's this. No, this is just rules for addition. This is not... I don't think this is what they're talking about. Advanced circuit tool? Is it these things? Copy tensor, copy state, state information, tensor. I can't see part of the tensor because the tutorial is blocking it. Okay, I think this is what they're talking about. Off-diagonal elements are 0. Off-diagonal elements create a crossing path, ket 0 to ket 1. Diagonal elements are 1 and -1. On-diagonal elements create a vertical path, ket 0 to ket 0. What we currently see, state's upper value, is that star 1 from ket 0 to ket 0, a vertical path painted blue. State's bottom value, star 1, ket 1 to ket 1, a vertical path painted red. So, okay, they're talking about this guy, I guess. Because this is the only guy where the vertical thing is painted red. Our bottom value is 0, hence the sigil's output remains blue. I don't get that. I don't know what you mean. Because the bottom value is 0, they're talking about this 0 here, because this is 0, that means the output is blue. To experience the effect of a Z-gate, you need a non-zero Y amplitude for X ket 0 plus Y ket 1. Your current quantum state has X equals 1, Y equals 0, 1 ket 0 plus 0 ket 1. The X gate has off-diagonal non-zero elements added to flip the state to 0 ket 0 plus 1 ket 1. Once this enters the Z gate, you get 0 ket 0 minus 1 ket 1. Is science of any value? I think the power to do something is a value. Whether the result is a good thing or a bad thing depends on how it is used, but the power is a value, says Richard Feynman. I didn't know his middle initial was P.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe this is a different Richard Feynman.
Yeah.
And that's why they're...
The Z-gate is also reversible. Adding another Z-gate on the same qubit will cancel the effect of the first one. 8-bit redeemed asks something or discuss the top of your choice, but I think you've used up your redeems for the night 8-bit, because we, like Steph and I, spent a long time talking about your qubit question, I guess, your quantum computing question. Learning is not attained by chance, it must be sought for with ardor and attended to with diligence. You will now need both to both cancel the phase and reach the ket 1-1 state. Add a Z gate on the second row. See that for ket 1-1, the color reverses back to blue. They canceled. States ket 0-1 and ket 1-0 are still red, since on these only a single Z gate is active. Add an X gate on the first row for the sigil to take the new blue ket 1-1 path. I mean, they're just giving us a solution, right? So I don't feel like we're actually learning anything. Add a Z gate on the second row and an X gate on the first row. Observe these wires with X and Z gates on qubits 1 and 2 and nothing on 3. What? Oh, okay, they're saying here. Red when an affected qubit is in ket 1 and the other is in ket 0 state. Ket 0 and then like a bunch of kets, which I don't want to read out. Blue when both are like they're making declarative statements here. Not even they're just making like noun phrases, right? And I don't like, what do I do with these noun phrases? It could be like, you know, observe these wires with X and Z gates on qubit 1 and 2 and nothing on 3. Cat, dog, apple, you know, and they're like, what? What? Count?
I honestly feel like you're playing a game in a foreign language. Like, I hope you're having fun.
Count kets with 1s and a Z gate on to decide if you need another Z gate. If you want the new Z gate to affect the sigil, you need to also flip the qubit to be 1 before it. Okay. The gates generate patterns based on quantum state vector matrix multiplication rules, which are described in the state information for each computation rule. What's happening here cannot be expressed using analogies from your human experience. Familiarize yourself with the patterns and you will learn the fundamental logic that your universe follows. Here's the thing, like, so I can get the blue, I can get the ball to become red and then go here, right? Like that's one thing. But I'm not able to, like with what they gave me, I'm not able to turn that into knowledge about quantum physics. You know, like there, I've turned the ball red and now it goes here. But I haven't learned anything about quantum computing in doing this, right?
Look, it's not understandable in human language. Just learn it.
I'm not even gonna read this. I'm just, okay, make the ball red and get it over here. We can do that. So what if I put this here? Does that do it? So it gets over there, and then I do this to make it turn red, right? Yep, easy, solved. Don't even know what any of this says. Control operator. Perhaps the most important gate are in your arsenal. The control gate is for creating dependencies between qubits, thus allowing cross-qubit communication. Unleash its power and take your first step towards mastering entanglement. I forgot, like I was starting a topic and then I said, wait, I was like, wait, let me read this tutorial, and then I never went back to the topic. You were saying, I guess you were teasing me. I don't know if it's intentional or what, but about like it's not enough to test that you understand the subject by just writing a substack.
It was not. You made it personal. I was not.
I'm taking it personally.
Using you in any way.
I write substacks.
It's not about you.
That you then
you
read.
You have started a substack. I had forgotten.
And then you're like, and then you disagree with everything I say. So that's why you personally attack me by saying, you know, just because you write a substack doesn't mean you know what you're talking about.
None of this happened.
But here's the, so you said, like, you know, instead of writing, it's not enough to just write a substack. You need to like actually like present your arguments to someone and see if they understand it, right, or something like that. Like, I think that's more or less what your point that you were making.
I was making the point that like often it helps to have a literal person there who is questioning, because you can write, like, obviously you can figure out pretty quickly on a substack if you don't know at all what you're talking about. But that specific state that you asked about, where you did well enough to write it, and you're like, well, I was able to write an article about it, and I wrote it to an imaginary 5-year-old, so maybe I do know it. I was saying, like, in that situation, I think you actually need someone there questioning you, so that you don't fool yourself into thinking that.
Yeah.
But mostly I was just making fun of your specific Substack.
Yeah, I got that.
Which I was in no way doing, but alright.
Yeah, like I just tried these gates, whatever, until it, like the blue ball goes here, and then like, but I don't know what anything, like I don't know what any of these gates do. Okay, so I've been writing some Substacks recently, and what I have been doing is I've been copy and pasting the contents of my Substack to LLMs, and I say like, act as a skeptical reader and tell me what do you find least convincing in my argument? What are the flaws? What have I forgotten to address, and so on.
What's it doing?
Well, it says stuff, right? But how do I know it's not being sycophantic?
Right. It does have a pretty high agreeability bias.
Because it says stuff like you've explained the topic of I don't know if you saw my most recent Substack stuff, prediction limitations of prediction, and Turing machines and things like that.
I don't think so.
Okay, it was telling me like, you explained all of this very well. They're just minor nitpicks, and it lists them, and I'm like using my own human judgment. I'm like, I think it's like it's wrong about it's a judgment taste, right? Like it's an editorial thing where I'm saying like, you think it would be better if I talked about how, the philosophical foundations of constructivism in math or whatever, and I'm like, no, I don't think I should talk about that. I think it's completely off topic to what I'm talking about. So I say I like to post the way it is. I'm going to post it as is. But as far as, it didn't really give me stuff where it says, like there is a flaw in your understanding, and here it is, right? And so I don't know, like, is it because there is no flaw in my understanding, or is it because it's being sycophantic?
I think you can ask it. I think you can say like, prioritize accuracy over being nice to me. Like, don't worry about, trying to sugarcoat it. Like, really tell me if there's a flaw in my argument that I don't understand.
Sure, but there's a false negative problem, right? Like if it does say, yeah, there is a problem, then I know there's a problem. But if it says, no, there's no problem, then I don't know if there's a problem or not. So
yeah. I recently did that thing where you ask ChatGPT, like based on all of our interactions so far, what are loops that I get caught in, and or self-defeating patterns, and what advice do you have for me to help with those? And it listed 5 problems that I have, but they're all the same problem.
Okay.
I was like, wait, do I really have 5 problems, or is this just all the same one? And it was like, yeah, it's all the same one. It's like, okay.
Well, it would say that because it's being sycophantic, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Like you could say, wait, is this all? Do I really have 5 problems, or is this all the same one? Or you say, it might say you only have 1 problem, and I said, do I really have 1 problem, or do I actually have 5? And they'll be like, oh, you're right, you have 5. So
probably. But I just thought it was so interesting. Like, I mean, you can judge. I will tell you what it says they are.
Okay.
I saved it under my. Okay. All right.
The other thing, before you even tell me, like, so ChatGPT does not have a recollection of everything you've ever told it, right? Like, so I'm a little skeptical. Like, I've seen these recommended, like, on TikTok and other places also, where they say, like, where you say, based on all our interactions, blah, 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 blah. Like, anytime the prompt starts with based on all our previous interactions, I'm already skeptical because ChatGPT doesn't have access to all your previous interactions.
It has a pretty long buffer window, though.
Well, do you create a new interaction, like, for different topics, or?
I don't.
Okay. I do, so maybe
that's part of the problem.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, I feel like if you do it for too long, it eventually says, I've run out of tokens. So
it does, but it's 20,000 tokens or something like that. Or 200,000 tokens, some large number. It's like a week of constant back and forth interaction, which I know from those studies about people, and that's only if you have the lower priced version. And that I know from people who turn ChatGPT into their boyfriend.
Yeah.
Have you read those articles?
Yeah.
And like every 10 days or so.
Sorry,
have
the
to
articles. Yes. From other people. mean, ChatGPT as her boyfriend.
Yes, yes. Okay, got it. I got your joke. I was like, I can tell there's a joke here, but I'm missing it. Yeah, exactly. The articles, right? Yeah. And like every 10 days, these people have to start over, but they are interacting with chat constantly over those 10 days. Okay, so here are the problems that it told me that I have. Oh, where is it? Okay. All right. Problem number 1. I have difficulty. I have ambitious goals, which leads to overthinking and paralysis,
Oh
which it
yeah.
calls the overwhelm loop.
The other thing I was gonna say is like,
Okay.
how do you know these problems that it's listing isn't just like P.T. Barnum things?
You don't, right? But I was just interested in what it could do. I actually am not personally interested in, like, I don't, like, I know these things about myself, and that also, they are also fairly Barnum problems. What I'm playing around with actually is the ability to use AI in assessment, because I'm going to be doing a presentation or participating in a panel discussion about it. So I'm just kind of seeing what people are doing with self-assessment in the area of ChatGPT. And one of the things they are doing is this kind of thing. So I wanted to do it for myself and see what kind of things it produces.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to hear the...
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, it calls the overwhelmed loop, where I have ambitious goals, which leads to overthinking and then paralysis, where I don't actually do the work. Number 2 is called high standards bottleneck, where I preferred structured and refined goals, which leads to endless tweaking and then delayed execution. Number 3 is the idea overload trap, where I have too many interconnected ideas, which leads to a lack of focus, which leads to slow execution. And number 4 is the big picture versus tactical steps dissonance, where I get excited about conceptual thinking, and that makes execution feel difficult. And then I want my work to be both high level and actionable, which can cause me to lose track of the roadmap. And then number 5 is the legacy versus present tension. I want to create something lasting and meaningful, and then the goal makes it feel distant and heavy, and then I tend to lose momentum towards the whole project.
Is that true?
Did you just say the same thing 5 times?
Do you want to create a lasting legacy?
Yeah.
I did
I'm
not
older
know that
than you.
about you. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, ChatGPT did, because ChatGPT knows me better than you do.
I would say, just because you're older than me doesn't mean necessarily like you want to create a lasting legacy. Like, does it
I
correlate
think
with
you'll
age?
understand when you get older. Yeah. You start getting, like, I think this is what a lot of like midlife crises are about.
I was wondering if it correlates with gender. Like, I thought creating a lasting legacy is more of a male fantasy than a female fantasy, for example.
I think that is a stereotype about women.
Okay.
I could see, like, I think that stereotype gets reinforced in popular culture.
Yeah, that's possible.
It was literally just like, it was just 5 things that just basically all said the same thing. You
Yeah, to me, it's basically saying
want to do something good, but you're also kind of lazy.
No, I saw it as like you're too focused on the big picture. You need to focus on the smaller stuff.
Yeah,
that was my
practical
interpretation of it.
versus action. Perfect being the enemy of good. Like, it's all
Yeah.
about not actually getting it done.
Right. Look, total knowledge gain 1,287. I've gained so much
That's so many
knowledge.
knowledge.
Yeah.
So many.
Over
your-
1,000 knowledge I got. I gained.
That's so much knowledge. I can't even believe it. Was your book an attempt to have legacy, or was it just a project?
This is exactly why I question your earlier thing. I wanted to create a legacy when I was a kid, but as I grew older, I'm like, fuck that, right? Like, who cares anymore? You know?
Okay.
And
How did
so
you come to that realization?
and so I'm typical mind fallacying into like, oh, so it's, you know, it's a thing when you're young and then it's no longer a thing when you're old.
The thing that young people do.
Yeah.
I see. What happens when you get old that you don't want to do it anymore?
I
You
don't
just
know.
get tired, or
Yeah, I mean, maybe. So from my perspective, like I'm gonna say this and it might come off like an insult, but I don't intend it that way, right? From my perspective, it was just a maturity thing. It's like, oh, like it like tautologically, not, you know, not because I'm like, when I was a kid I wanted this, and now that I'm an adult I no longer want this. Therefore, I infer that it must have been, you know, only immature people want it because I only wanted it when I was a kid, type of thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I think, yeah, I think for women, and I may be overgeneralizing here, but I think a lot of women struggle with feeling like they have enough to contribute until they get pretty far along in their career. Whereas I think a lot of men are like, well, I woke up this morning, so I have some things to contribute. I will have a legacy. And then maybe you do mature out of that, weirdly, as a man, but you like mature into it as a woman? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, who's to say that I'm typical, right? Or that you're
Yeah.
typical for that matter? Unless we like actually
It's
do
true.
studies
Very,
and look into
very
it,
few people would call either of us typical.
right? Hey, Chakar. The shout out bot, Army Bot says, let's give a huge shout out to Chakar. If you love creativity and fun, you need to check out their streams. They're currently diving into Astrobot, aiming for 100% completion. So get ready for some epic gameplay. Plus, with their super unique vibe and amazing sense of humor, you won't want to miss any of their adventures. Follow Chakar and join in on the fun. And it has a low, I don't know what the first emoji is, but the second emoji is a car. And then like the third emoji is an explosion, which I don't know what to make of that. What is the first emoji? Is that like flags or something like that? Like hands waving oh, it's a controller. It's a video game controller. I see now.
Ah,
It's a controller switch arm. Yeah. Steph, did you know that today I got to shake hands with the legendary Chakar?
I did know that.
That's amazing.
It was today's adventure. How was
Yeah,
it?
It was a lot of fun. We took pictures. I can send you the pictures after if you like. Steph was like,
Okay.
no, that's okay.
No, definitely send me the pictures. That'd be
Alright.
great. Definitely, I want them.
Chakar says, I got to shake hands with the legendary Nebu. Yeah, that he did.
Fantastic.
I think it's time to switch games. I'm sort of just doing things blindly. And we did about an hour this one. So I got my second game ready.
I mean, you've got so many knowledge.
I got like 2,000 knowledge at this because I did 2 of those puzzles that each gave like 1,000 plus knowledge.
Jeez, that's more knowledge than anyone has.
Yeah. Even Albert Einstein. And he stuck with it.
Yeah. Longer than
So
we
imagine
did,
how
probably.
smart I am when I didn't even stick with it and I still
Yeah.
got even more knowledge than he did.
Yeah. How it works.
Everseeker is the name of our next game. Little Critters. What? Error? While launching missing game executable? That sounds bad. How do I fix that? What's the name of the executable that I tried to run? Was it Everseeker's LC? It is Everseeker's.lc. Okay, so it's saying it can't find a file called Everseekers.lc.exe, but I see there's a file here called Everseekers.lc. So I'm gonna rename it to .exe. And then maybe that'll fix it. I think it did fix it, maybe. They just named the file incorrectly, I guess. Maybe.
That
How about here? 20% audio. Normal, play it as it was designed and immerse yourself in the authentic experience. Random, creature change position each game ensuring a fresh experience. Speedrun, how fast can you find all the objects, beat your own records and challenge the best. Or back, which I assume means you don't want to play anymore. Because we're doing normal.
Sure.
Your progress will be lost! Exclamation point, confirm. How to play. Find hidden creatures by clicking on them. Win by finding them all. Use a hint button to locate an undiscovered creature, but it will have a cooldown after use. So like any creature, like this bird? No, not the bird.
I guess.
This bee?
Not the bird. Okay.
Yes, the bee. How about this
Okay.
ladybug? Yes, the ladybug.
So just little bugs?
I guess. I found object 4 and 8 were the achievements I just got.
Oh, good.
How about this guy?
Okay. Yeah.
That was object number 2. How about this caterpillar?
Yeah,
That was
great.
6, maybe? Remember when we went to that freaking, was it the biodome or something like that? And the guy was like, want to play
Probably.
a game? And we were like, sure,
Yeah.
we'd love to play a game.
Sure.
And he
Yep.
was like, do you guys know what the rule is for whether something is an insect or not? And then we were like, 6 legs, right? And he's like, yeah. Okay, so what is this? And he shows us something with 6 legs, right? And we're like, it's an insect. And like, yeah. Then he shows us like a spider or something like that. What's this? And we're like, not like, or he says like, is this an insect or not? And we're like, not an insect.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, because it's just like a caterpillar, right? Which has like 100 legs or something, right? Like, you guys
A
know what caterpillars
millipede. Yeah,
are.
it just looks like a millipede.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's 100 legs, and we're like, so not an insect. And he's like, wrong, it's an insect. And then we're like, what the heck? And he's like, these are pseudo legs. It only has 6
Yep.
real legs. And we're like, fuck you, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Anyway, I looked it up like a week ago because somehow the topic came up again. I think someone was streaming, like I was on another person's stream, and the title of the stream was like, "Give me your best insect fact" or something like that. So I told this anecdote.
I think at the top of that brick wall, there's like a little critter.
Yeah. So I told them this anecdote, and then we went on Wikipedia to look up this, and then so they have something. It's called. He called the guy called a pseudo legs, right? But apparently,
Yeah, clinging to one of those cattails.
the scientific name they're called proleg.
Oh,
What cattail? I don't even see the cattail.
pro leg. Yeah, you scrolled up too fast.
Oh, it's down?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Okay, I see. And they're like, the thing is, they're bulbs of flesh or lumps of flesh or something like that. These pro legs. Whereas a
Perfect.
real leg is like
Under the pencil, on the carrot.
a real leg is like segmented and or something like that, you know, on insects.
Yeah.
Whereas for the caterpillars, it's just a lump of flesh, so it's not segmented or something like that. So that's the difference between the
yeah.
real leg and the pseudo leg or pro leg.
On the edge of that cart. There you go.
What does this do? Is this a zoom maybe? Yeah, it is zoom. Okay. So far we're doing okay. I don't think we need to zoom in yet. Rhino beetle. We get an achievement for every single bug we find.
Wow. It's like
And
a
you-
lot of knowledges.
You
To the
hear
right there
the
in the
clicking, right? Like ding every time we get one. This one here.
Yeah.
Praying mantis, butterfly. I don't know what this is. Another snail.
Down.
Caterpillar, maybe?
Too far. Ah,
Alright, back down. Where is it? This thing?
under those pots
This?
there.
Under the pots. Here? This guy?
There you go. Yeah. I don't want you to miss any achievements. On the birdhouse there.
On the birdhouse.
Go down.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Somehow, Steph, you learned to communicate effectively with me over Discord by saying things like "on the birdhouse."
Yeah.
Because like when I play these type of games with
Bunny
Jubilee,
here. Yeah.
she'll be like left, no, up, no, not left, no, and like there's a delay, right? So it's like this isn't working. Like
Yeah.
you're like, but
Yeah.
if you just say like on the birdhouse, that's like timeless, right? So I just go down like for birdhouse and
Above the cactuses. There's a
the
little
cacti.
butterfly.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And now I think that's all the ones that I can see. How many are
There's
it says, it says
There's a
100 down
couple
here.
around that string of light.
String of light.
Around that
Where's-
string of lights, there's two. Down below the deck.
below the deck. Oh yeah, I see them. There's this guy here. Chaka and I, we actually beat a point and click adventure like while we were at the Mopop Museum of Pop Culture.
On the left side of that toadstool house. There you go. You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was on a tablet and you had to like click on things to make the guy pick up something.
Next to the turnip,
The turnip
which is next to the green snail.
around here. Oh, I see it now.
The other turnip.
Yeah.
There you go.
We saw a king and the king was like sad and he was like, oh, this dragon came and he says like I have to give him my daughter or something like that, right? And then he's like, if you slay the dragon, I'll give you my crown, you can become king and you can marry my daughter. And we didn't like.
Why are we constantly pimping out women? Okay, fine.
Well, you won't like what happened next.
Okay.
Because we had a gun in our inventory. So we're like,
Sure.
okay. We click on the gun and we click on the king. So our guy pulls out the gun and he's like, give me your daughter. and then and he does. And then the daughter joins our party. And then we're like,
God.
I was like, oh, I didn't know that I didn't know that's what was gonna happen. So then we walk over to the dragon lair, right? We're like, oh, well, let's go kill the dragon, right? Maybe we have a gun. Let's go do. So we go to the dragon, and then the princess likes the dragon, and then they like because she walked. There's no words in the game. It's all like there'll be a speech bubble that comes out of the character, but then there'll be like a diagram, like a cartoon picture. So we have to like infer what's going on basically. But she walks up to the dragon, she pets the dragon, a little heart symbol appears. So we're like, oh, she likes the dragon. And then I guess they elope or something. They live happily ever after together.
Okay.
So we go back to the king, and then we're like, good news, bad news. The good news, your daughter is fine. Bad news, she's in love with the dragon or something. And the king, apparently he's fine with that. He's like, okay, so he gives us our reward, which is like a bag. Was it a diamond? I don't remember exactly what happened. Maybe Chaka remembers, but yeah. So it was a bunch of puzzles like that. We're missing one critter. Oh, here he is. Congratulations, you found all the hidden objects in this map. Thank you for playing. Awesome. Send your pet for a chance to appear in our upcoming game.
What?
Chucker says, I don't remember what the king gave us. Yeah, like, not a photo. Just put them in a package box. Make sure there's holes so that they can breathe, right? Oxygen. And send them to your pet. and then there's a chance that you will appear in our games, not your pet, but you.
don't
And then
want
you can
to
click here
do
to
either of
send.
those things. No, thank you.
Popular. I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, cause you've got an awfully long way to go.
Shibuwu, thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? It says, Shibuwu, it's so nice to have you here. How did your stream go? By the way, since you're playing Marvel Rivals, who's your favorite character to play and why? Remember, even if you feel like you're struggling, it's all about having fun. Well, even HarmonyBot knows that you were struggling in the game. It's like, even though you were struggling, it's all about having fun. Welcome in. Is it Anondag? Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Let's play some of Shibuu's top clips. Where's my mouse? Oh, here it is. Oops. Open new tab. Eurobeat solves everything? I don't think we've seen this. What is this? It's Hollow Knight. That's your favorite game, right,
Let's
Steph?
dance. You can do a little
Pause the
two-step.
video right here, real quick.
I'll go anywhere that you step to, cause I'm following you.
And Bat, thank you so much for the follow. And apparently we're being rated also by Mr. Flashbot.
I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, cause you've got an awfully long way to go.
It says, Mr. Flashbot, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. How did your stream go? Did you have any epic moments in Marvel Rivals? I'm curious what's your favorite character to play in the game. Hi, welcome in, Flashbot. We just got raided by, I don't know if you two, maybe you two were playing together. I just got raided by Shibuwu, who was also playing Marvel Rivals. So we're playing her top clip, which is apparently a Hollow Knight clip. And then I'll play one of your top clips. Give me a second here. Yeah, she's my buddy. Okay, so you were playing together. Yeah, okay. I was in their stream for a while and I heard another voice, and I guess that must have been your voice.
Please. Please! Oh my god! Please!
Good job.
Why did that actually work? The fuck? Yatta!
Cloak and Dagger? I actually know very little about Marvel, but I think that's the name of a character
Oh my god,
in Marvel.
it ended
Cloak and Dagger.
perfectly. What the fuck?
Alright, let me play Mr. Flashbot's, one of Mr. Flashbot's top clips. Let's see here. Oops. My R, my eyes, my her, my heart. Alright, let's see what this is.
What am I supposed Oh,
Jump scare.
that terrified the fuck out of me. My heart, my heart. I'm gonna pass out.
Thank you, science, it said.
That's just very terrifying.
What was that? Did they whisper something?
I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again.
Welcome in. I don't know if we beat the game or we just beat the level. But we beat something.
Might have beat the game.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Well, I'm gonna click awesome and see what happens. I think we beat the game. It says level selection, but there's only one level. And there's only, not only, okay, there's one level in the game, but they put in a level selection, and then they put 2 digits the level for the one level that they have.
Yep.
I said should have better
There's
prepared.
only like 4 ways to play this one level.
Yeah, which means there should be 4 colors according to the quantum qubit theory of coloration, right?
Right.
Dance. You can do a little two-step. I'll go anywhere that you step to, cause I'm following you.
Mr. Flashbot, thank you so much for the follow. They say, I should have been better prepared is what I whispered. Oh, so I wasn't sure if that was the game or if that was you. You were whispering in that clip and you said should have been better prepared. I see. Did we get all achievements? Where's my achievements? Here it is. Yeah, we got all achievements.
Better be 100 of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we beat that game. Good game.
Yep.
I do have more games for us. I didn't have a plan because I didn't know we were going to beat this game so quickly. Let me find my list here. Let's see, Steph games. Quantum Odyssey, we did that one. Not this one, not this one. Not this one. Oh, Cipheur, yes, okay. So next up is Cipheur, which I was planning to do next week, but I guess we can play it this week. It's a cryptanalysis game. I think it's probably going to be mainly substitution ciphers. We'll see. We'll see how sophisticated the ciphers get. But yeah, so I'm streaming with Steph, by the way. Just sorry to withhold the introduction up to now. And she's pretty good at word games, so she's going to super carry us in Cipheur, obviously. Maybe out here? Maybe a little lower. Maybe here? Difficult, let's put it on hard, right? Because obviously we're going to be super pros at this game. QWERTY is correct for keyboard, so play. Level 1. You want to see the tutorial for Cipheur? Obviously not. We know what we're doing. This is, yeah, it's got to be a substitution cipher, right?
Yeah.
Do you know this person, Albert Hubbard?
I don't.
I'm not sure if he's.
I think it's going to be
an author
F
or
is
something.
going to be O.
This is O?
Yeah. Right, because we need to. It's got to be O or E, right?
Based on what? So if I look at this, it's
Oh,
so two-letter words, right? And then
Two F's in a row.
O over here.
Yes.
So like
you can
a
either
T,
have
maybe?
like C or 2. Yeah.
So this would have to be like out or something like that at that point, then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this would be U, maybe. Like
Yeah.
Y. Then maybe this is an L for the adverb ending? Or is that too presumptuous? It works also with
No,
a
I
double
like it.
L here.
Seriously. Yeah, I think that word is seriously.
Well, we're in trouble now if that's seriously. Oh wait, no, are we?
Why?
Okay, I thought you would not have an S here for seriously for some reason.
Oh, sorry. You will
Life?
never
Don't
get
take
out of it alive.
sucking life too
Don't take
seriously.
life too seriously.
Yeah.
Do not take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive.
See, this is what I'm talking about when I said Steph is like gonna hard carry us.
This
I've
one went
heard
straight
of
to like,
George Bernard Shaw.
what if all of these are hard? All of these are like really long words, right?
But that's good, right? Like usually longer. Here's a double letter. Usually, like the longer, another double letter here. Like a really hard substitution cipher is like if the quote is like a single word that's 3 letters long or something like that, right? Then it's like it could be anything.
What you're looking for, right, are high frequency patterns.
Yeah, how about this?
So
RMW.
RME, I'm guessing that's got to be the. Just because the is 7% of all words in the English language.
Yeah. Also this, of the, or on the, or something like that. In the. To the. No, not to, because we already use T. Where's the D show up? What about this word with the 3 T's?
I like S or A because it ends
You
two
think?
of our words that is something T. Sorry, S, yeah.
Yeah, I mistyped because A and S are right next to each other on the keyboard.
Gotcha.
Look at this. This could be like an R. Like assuming
Or
all the
an
other.
I.
Oh, an I. Yeah. I was gonna say if all the other words are right, I thought this could only be a few things.
It can. We do have two TD right before the twice, so I do like of the, because of is 3.7 of all words in the English language, so
I don't like this. SF.
yeah, I don't either. Alright, let's go back on of.
Well, so after an S, what could it could be an O if this is like. No, what could this be if like I was gonna say two, but we're use T to the do. That could work. Juby says, "Ooh, I love these games, anagrams and cryptograms."
I don't like do.
You want to get on the call, Jubilee?
Let's go back on those, and let's also take out the S. I'm not. So my other option here instead of S is an N.
F's or D's, says Jubilee. This?
Yeah, I like that.
What the
I
heck is
think
this
S
word?
might be
S is M. But what's this word? Dude?
I'm not sure. Take out the D for now.
It could also be R, right? TR is another okay ending for a word. Rotatatatatater.
Let's see.
How about this word? Isn't this... There's only a few this could be, right? Like appointment or something like that? With the double letter here.
It is appointment because the word before that is incompetent.
And corrupt. Democracy. Substitute.
Election by the incompetent many for the appointment by the corrupt few.
Julie, did you want to join in? Look at this M pattern here. This J here, this made me thinks of like that or...
Mm-hmm.
Although this also immediately makes me think of that. So now we have a little dilemma there. First word is always, says Jubilee. And then this would be you then, right? Surely. Absolutely. We just got lucky.
Absolutely.
Oh, but we just got lucky that I put that here instead of here.
Everyone else. Just like everyone else. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everyone else.
You know, was it one of the Monty Python ones? Life of Brian, maybe? Brian's in front of the crowd, and he's like everyone wants to do follow him or something like that, and he's like, no, don't, right? Like he says, you are all unique individuals, and then one guy says, I'm not. That one guy was an extra, and he improvised that line,
right.
like he wasn't like.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
But they liked it, so they kept it in, and then they had to pay him because he had a line, right? Like apparently that's the rules.
Oh right.
If you don't have a line, then you get paid the extra rate, and if you do have a line, you get paid the actor rate.
That S pattern in the last word and in the word that ends with 2 S's is interesting.
Maybe it's an S. I wonder how safe it is to use that as a metagaming thing, right? Of saying, like, if it's a substitution cipher, they would never have a letter represent itself. But maybe sometimes they do, right? I mean, they definitely would if they did randomly, I guess, right? But that would occasionally happen. But if you were designing a substitution cipher puzzle, Julie thinks this is the... So E for this? I mean, it could be. And this would be like then, maybe?
I think... Oh, maybe.
What would this be, though?
So that's an R. Truth.
Oh, I didn't
Is,
think of truth.
the one that ends in REE is agree. And the one that ends in
Generation
hat
here.
is what?
Oh, wait, no, not generation, because we used that already. Sorry, the one that ends in what you said?
Pat.
Pat? Pat, pat.
Hat.
Pat? I don't see any T or A's at the end. You're saying it ends in AT? Oh, here.
Middle letter, 4th line down. What?
With?
With what? Then...
Julie's saying this is they instead of then. Already.
But they already believe. Generally affect? No, generally...
People, right?
Yeah.
Will generally accept facts as truth only if the facts agree with what they already believe. Bravo! This is gonna be like I or A? I like A better than I. Just because I'm trying to think of like 2-letter words before this, and they work with A a lot better than they work with I. Julie thinks this might be of.
I was thinking it might be like man and human. Is that second word that has the A in it? Sorry, the third word that has an A in it ends in the same 3 letters. W. HL.
Man of a human.
I don't like of, but it could be. I don't like the thing ending with F.
Oh, it's Jim Carrey. I just realized. What's something Jim Carrey would say? Andrew says man is. Man is a human something. Something man is a human.
I feel like V is gonna be G.
I was just thinking this was going to be G. Probably for the same reasons.
Great man is a human.
Behind every great man is a
Human
woman.
running.
rolling
There's
her
a woman.
eyes.
Rolling her eyes. Okay.
Yeah, I know this quote. So once I got the first few words.
Okay.
Oh God.
Popular. I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, cause you've got an awfully long way to go.
Atina, thank you so much for the raid. It says here, oops, well, I have to have that, but that's fine. It says, how did your stream go? I see you're playing Baba as you. That's such a clever game. What was the most challenging puzzle that you tackled during your stream? And yeah, so Steph and I, we also played Baba as you a long time ago, right? And our brains got broken by that game.
Yeah,
You
completely.
remember we had to push these words around.
I
and
don't
like,
anymore because my brain broke.
and the thing is, like, we got to the point where we had trouble. Like, we were like, you know, like Steph and I were working there on the puzzle, right? And was it like you gotta move like Baba left, and like, do you mean the word Baba or do you mean the object Baba? Like, what are we moving left? Like, what? Hang on, let me
I feel like at the end there was like nothing on the screen, and we're still like trying to solve the puzzle.
Let me play one of Atina's top clips here. Let's see. Certified spy moment. Okay, let's see what this is.
If you're late to the stream and I'm late to the stream, then who pressed the go live button?
Why did the music get so eerie all of a sudden?
The spy music after he said
Yeah,
that.
what the heck? The music changed. What the heck? Wow, that was great music timing. Welcome in, One Hit Pony. Jubilee did the shout out command, so let's see what the shout out says. It says, hey everyone, let's give a huge shout out to Atina Saibo. She's an adorable PNG tuber and a variety streamer who's all about funny adventures in games like Baba's You, where you can twist logic to solve puzzles. If you love achievement hunting and enjoying whimsical challenges, you definitely should check out her streams, follow Atina, and join her on this amazing journey as she tackles a great achievement gauntlet. Let's support her and have some fun together. Tina says, my brain is a puddle. I'm achievement hunting and finished the other game I was doing, so I switched to Baba to try and work on it. Yeah, Baba, my brain also becomes puddle when I try to play. But what was the other game you played then? What was the one that you finished? We're playing Cipheur, I guess? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's substitution ciphers. So if you don't know what that is, it means every letter here is replaced with some other letter. Like, let's say we think E is actually Y or something like that. So you put in a Y, so all the E's become Y's. And then maybe the H is a B then, right? Because it's like by something. And then and so you keep progressing like that, trying to solve what the message secretly is. So that's the game, and that's what we're working on here. We just started this one. Oops. I clicked outside again, sorry. We just started this one, so now we're trying to figure this one out. So here I see DML and then DML and extra. So what I like for that is D and then for that. Or I guess it could be you and your.
Then you have.
Oh yeah, and then this guy
Yeah, I
is
think
bad.
Is gonna be better.
So let's try you and your. And that's not bad. This could be like 4, right?
4. Yeah, and I like for K because I don't think Teddy Roosevelt used I very often.
Where? Sorry? K? Where's K? Here's K.
Second penultimate word.
Yeah, and then what did you like? I?
A.
Did you say K?
A.
Oh, A. Okay.
Because I don't think he used the pronoun I as often.
Tina says,
I like I for H.
okay. Atina says, the other game is Dr. Langeskov, the tiger, and terribly cursed emerald, a whirlwind heist. I got the achievement for getting my first 5 francs in the game. Nice. Judy says, if you would.
Oh,
Okay.
I actually know this quote. If you could, it's if you could kick.
You could kick. What could you kick?
The person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month, I believe is the quote.
And there you have it. Earlier, Atina, at the beginning of the stream, sorry, not the beginning of the stream, at the beginning of the game, I was like, Steph is really good at word games, so she's gonna carry us. And there you have it. This I like OO, like maybe 2? But now I don't like this 4-letter apostrophe word.
4-letter apostrophe word, the last letter is usually T.
Yeah. So it's like don't or
maybe
won't or something like that.
E. Yeah.
Oh, if it's don't, it could be like odd or something like that, right? Jesus, this would be all? If this were all, then what's this? The L something 4-letter word apostrophe. Odd and well, if it's odd, then it can't be don't because we've already used the O.
Right.
So then
It's not going to be O because we've decided that
it could be add.
they're not going to use this.
Well, we didn't decide. We pondered it, right? We raised the question. We raised the question, but we didn't say the answer is no. They would never substitute a letter for itself. But sure, let's say it's not O. So if this is an N apostrophe T word, then it would be like can't.
Can't,
but we don't
isn't, won't. Yeah, I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
It must be an S then, as the apostrophe.
Then it could be anything, right? Like dads or whatever.
Yeah.
The foxes.
For PCBP, first word of the last line.
Okay.
Second to last line. Let's try that. Well, let's go back to all that Jubilee suggested.
And then let's is Jubilee also suggested.
Let's. Yeah.
B. But. So.
Our.
Did we use E already? Oh, by all means. Let's be open-minded.
Open-minded, but not so open-minded that our brains drop out.
Nice. We got it. Bravo. By the way, chat, feel free to give your guess as well. Like, you know, don't be afraid of like, oh, I don't want a back seat or something like that. Winston Churchill quote. You got CLZ twice here. Should we go with the? Yeah. And then we have like this could be A or I guess. A? How does I look? I like I because of this HI here.
Is? No, because then you...
Well, if it's A... You think this might be true
the
for
truth
something?
has A. Yeah,
okay,
the truth has A.
KY is our use, says Jubilee. Where's KY? Oh, here.
Yeah, we got that. I think T would be O then.
Here's a T. Oops. So this would be like around. Adina says, I'm sorry to leave so
Around the
soon,
world.
but Baba is brain melt. Have a lovely stream. I'm rooting for you. All right, Adina, thank you so much for the raid, and take good care of yourself. Rest, get your brain rested up.
Like it's something around halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on.
The classic Churchill saying about
Right.
pants.
Mm-hmm. Classic. I like I here because we have two of them for A, and then
Yeah, we have I, and then like
A.
immediately.
Yeah, I am.
Will Rogers. Is that like the sci-fi radio serial thing? The space guy?
I feel like it's some guy with a horse.
I can only think of not, right? I am not a something. I am a, and then something
Member
else.
of any. I'm not a member of any.
Isn't that the Groucho
Or-
Marx thing?
Organized something party.
I'm a
I am a
Democrat.
Democrat.
Political.
Political.
Oh, he's making a joke because he's saying Democrats are not organized.
Yeah, I got it.
Franklin P. Jones, no idea who that is.
No.
S,
Jones.
or do we want... There's no T for this, right? Super long word and then T.
Oh, boy. I like that. I like someone. S-O-M-E.
For this word here?
Buddies. Yeah, somebody's
One, maybe here?
one of
Two. Yourself.
to yourself is that.
Man, you're solving this faster than I can type. One advantage
You know at
of
least somebody's
talking
listening.
to yourself
Yeah.
is that you know some, yeah. This one seems tough. I'm not seeing any patterns that jump out to me.
The ZQBZXB is interesting.
Yeah. It takes, says Jubilee. For the first words? What the heck is this?
Extent
Extent?
the
Where's the... Oh, here. Okay.
right before it. To right above extent.
Just to, maybe? Knowledge, just to?
Knowledge,
takes considerable
It takes
knowledge.
considerable knowledge just to realize the extent of your own ignorance. Does sound like something Thomas Sowell would say.
Yeah. I know Thomas Sowell. Just
Good.
to realize the extent of your... Okay. She's my favorite woman. This is gonna be something like it's or his or something like an S anyway. And this must be is then, maybe. I something
It.
is. Sorry?
I think it's for the first after the comma. It's
Is?
and then there. in the top line. Something.
You actually want me to
I
write something?
believe
You're not
there's
saying that.
something.
You're not just saying that it's something and then.
The second word is believe.
I believe there is something, and then this word is wrong, I guess.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, I don't think
It's on A then. There's something out
Yeah.
there.
Out there. Watching us.
Watching. Unfortunately, it's the government.
It's the government.
I wish, like, now that it's 2025, I wish the government
Yeah.
were competent enough that they could watch us. Like,
Right.
eating his eye, Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, because there's 3 of them. Yeah.
Why not A? What would this like I word I? I guess it could be. Like, I believe I can do something, you know, like that type of thing. Is it even believe?
I think it's believe,
No,
yeah.
it's not, I guess, unless I'm misspelling it.
Oh, you're right. Okay. I realize.
I always wanted
To be somebody, but now
but
I
I realized should have been
realize
more specific.
should have been more specific.
I know
Do you
this
know that quote?
Yeah, but I don't know who it's
I
from.
was like, wow, you did that really fast.
Yeah. If I hear the first 4 words and I can like solve the whole thing, it's because I know the quote probably.
Okay.
We got a single here. How about I for this one?
I guess. You think so?
Because then you got like him or something. What? Okay, so what if it's an
I
A?
feel like with Charles de Gaulle, it's going to be an A.
Then what's this? An and? WRP is the WRP. Dang, that kills my theory here where I said this is napkin, obviously.
That.
Well, we have an H already, unless we don't like that H.
Yeah, I don't like this. Something is wrong.
Start over. So Julie said this.
No, because then we have something EH for the first word, and that's definitely wrong.
Oh, Julie's saying it's nation. So I said and then now she's saying this could be nation.
Yeah, I like nation.
And then that. How can anyone?
How can anyone?
Oops,
Something
hang
a
on.
nation
I'm having trouble moving the
that
cursor around.
has
A nation that has 246.
46 different kinds of cheese. How can anyone something a nation that has 246 different kinds of cheese?
Govern, maybe?
Govern. All right. Yeah, he was trying to govern that nation, wasn't he?
Yeah. And his excuses, they have 246 different kinds of cheese. What do you expect me to do? If it doesn't end in SS, then it might end in LL. Maybe like will then. You love it. I can tell from the tone of your voice, Steph. This is an Albert Einstein quote, by the way. So just from the first word, you should be able to know the full quote, since you know every quote attributed to Einstein. How about this one? A or I?
I don't like that, but I like the for CDG.
Look at this LH, this beautiful LH.
I don't like it.
You don't like the LH?
No.
Okay, so what double before an H, but we think it's not S because we would never substitute the letter for itself. So what fits all of that? kiss? Well, that would put an S for itself, which we don't like. I mean, it's not impossible, but so far we haven't liked it.
Alright, let's delete everything. I'm not even loving the right now. Okay, so there's one single L there, so that's gotta and a single F, so that's gotta be I something A? A something
Ends in
I?
an A? Yeah, it has to be I, right? You would end sentence of A, but you could end sentence of I.
How? A
Like the phone rings and you pick up this.
A to Z?
Sorry?
A to Z?
H is Z. Where's H?
A to Z.
Oh, A to Z.
A
You're saying the
to
answer is
Z.
Z, not the letter A, map it to Z.
Right, and then I think the next word after Z ends in I-T-I-O-N? Imagination?
Take you something.
Logic? Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will take you everywhere.
Why is my cursor being all weird? There we go. Yeah, this is more of that reminiscent. Did I misspell something? It's not saying it's right.
Logic will get you from A to Z.
Maybe it's-
Imagination will take you everywhere. A to B?
Let's take you far. It is from A to B. Oh, okay. Yeah. But I was gonna say this is some Ramination shit about you know, the whispers of the goddess. Like it works if you're a genius. It doesn't work so well.
Sure.
if you're an everyday person.
Yeah, why not?
So we got this.
I'm gonna guess it's A because we have J something. Yeah.
We have OQP the same, like here and here.
Okay, let's try that.
And then I like that with the TH here, like with or something like that.
Okay.
And if that's, then this is if. Or is. The best.
Yeah, I think it's like best. The best something against.
The best argument.
The best argument against
Democracy.
something is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter.
Sounds like Winston Churchill.
Yes.
They should, like, as a bonus, they should not give you the name. You do the quote, then you guess who it was that said it, right? After you hear the quote. Yeah.
Whoa, there is not a lot of letters here. Okay.
So there's the double P in this word. I don't know if that's gonna help. There's the double A
There's
here,
the double A there.
which maybe is an S. Which means maybe this isn't is it
And then
or in or something like
it.
that.
how about NESS as the last 4 letters? Business?
Nope.
Oh, no. Alright.
We see I for this? Oh yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah. Except? When?
Oh, something is cheap, except when
Talk is cheap except when
does it? Congress.
Congress. I don't know Colin Hightower.
Well, he's the guy who said talk is cheap except when Congress does.
Yeah, that's a good point. Forgotten about that.
Where's the word for Sherlock in here? It's gonna be like an
If
L, maybe?
QZW twice. No, I think it's T.
I think it was a
Because
T.
I think QZW is the...
Lots of political sayings. Yeah, I guess it's
whatever?
It's an easy way to get public domain quotes. Matter?
No matter how.
Yeah.
Must be the truth. Oh,
Once you eliminate,
you know this one. Once you
yeah.
eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. Sherlock Holmes.
I have PTPV going on here.
Yeah, I like that for the third word. And then the for the other, yeah.
So I feel like this is gonna be like on or of the. It's like one of these is on and the other one is of or something like that. This. Oh, but then EFT. On? I guess N works, but.
I like MENT as the end of that word.
Government?
A government that does
Oh, wait.
that
robs
robs Peter to pay Paul can
Oh, robs. Okay.
can always depend on the support of Paul. I wonder what part of our brain is doing this.
Put me in the FRMI machine.
All right.
WW. I'm not seeing too many other patterns. AA, I guess, here. UU. Oh, we got a couple of UUs, actually. Just for fun, so I'll just put D here and then see what that gives us.
Okay.
How about this H?
I don't like it. There's not a lot of X's, so maybe try U for that word. No. And?
Then
U for the second letter of the second line.
here? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you ask about what part of the brain does this. It's got to be paternity. It's got to be the language center, right? Like, isn't give birth to something like that?
Benefit is the last word. Bureaucracy gives birth to itself and then expects maternity benefits? Paternity? Yeah, I think it's maternity benefits.
Because like there's a whole counterintuitive, I guess, to lay people, but there's linguistic acknowledgement that language has built-in redundancy, specifically so that if you don't hear or don't see part of a word, you can still figure out what the word is. And presumably our brain is wired around that too then, right? To use this Bayesian reasoning to figure out what the parts, the syllables we didn't hear are.
Yeah.
So how about an S here? Something's A or is I? No, it's gotta be an A, right? Something apostrophe S.
There's. I think it's there's a.
Truth.
Between. There's a difference between.
There's a weird. No. There's a world.
Yeah. World of.
There's a world difference
Between truth and fact.
Facts
Fact
can be
and
obscurely
obscure
true.
Can they?
I guess he means like misleading. Like whoever it was, I don't know if it's he or she. He's taking truth to mean like non-misleading truth, and facts to be like possibly misleading truths, right? Like how statistics can lie and things like that. But again, it's one of those cases, you know, that I'm always railing against of him treating that terminology as standardized, whereas like not everybody thinks, you know, facts means this and truth means that. She? Was it a woman? I didn't see what the name is.
Yeah, it was Angela.
Okay.
We have the same word twice here. Solo slexed.
Solo sax, you said.
Solo sax.
Solo saxy.
I don't think that's right.
You don't think the word they use the word solo saxy twice?
I don't think so. Okay, so that's either got to be O. It either has to be an I or an A. I don't like a word that ends in and begins in I, so I'm going to say O is an A. I'm going to say the second word is.
What is this? Was? Has?
It's one of those, and I'm not sure what. I'm guessing because there's not a lot of E's, maybe it's was. But I'm gonna guess the last word of the first line is of.
Shutting, maybe?
Avoid. To avoid.
Oh, avoid.
Something was
Taxation.
founded to avoid taxation.
America, I guess.
The land of taxation that was founded to avoid taxation.
There's Jubilee and her political sayings again.
Yeah. I'm gonna put I for D because it starts with it.
I did. No, I heed. I read.
Maybe let's change it to A man. In no.
Where are you saying in no?
Fourth line. A man who
Something
something he can
can. Man who carries a cat to
by the tail
by the tail learns
learn something he can learn in no other way.
to me that sounds more like Confucius when it was Mark Twain.
Right.
So we have
I like the for QBI
Yeah,
because it starts
yeah.
with yeah.
Well, I was gonna say this and then yeah. But then what is this? Because it's not like that. I guess it could be this. No, does it? This the? That doesn't seem right. That's my dad's favorite saying. I recognize it, so I didn't help. Says Jubilee.
Oh,
Dandy. Something something dandy. Something something.
nothing. Is nothing. Something
More?
the habit
Nothing more than the habit of.
habit of resting before you get tired.
Oh, laziness.
Alright.
Look at this. And then this again. But then something else afterwards. And then GXS again. And then GXS again. Could this be an S? What would this be? What suffix do you add to a word that ends in E like this? Maybe this is an S. Because you have a double letter here into this, which I can't figure out.
Maybe accept?
Oops. Come on.
Change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and something the unacceptable.
And give me the wisdom to... Isn't this a prayer? Like you ask
Yeah.
God to... But it's not give me the wisdom to accept or whatever. So then what is this? What the heck?
Maybe
Yourself.
a Y at the end.
And remove yourself from the...
Remove yourself from the unacceptable. Okay.
Should we stop here or you want to keep going?
We can stop here. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well, it's here, which is what matters, because I'm egocentric.
I didn't want to reveal your time zone if you didn't want to share it.
Julie says keep going. I'm also tired, Julie. I had a big adventure today, don't you know?
It's true. Big adventure. Well, we could do this game next time. I enjoy word puzzles.
Maybe we can't do this next time because I am
What?
severely behind on my contractual obligations. So
I am not behind on my contractual obligations, though.
yeah, but I'm behind on mine. So I need to get like I have like 5 games that are past deadline according to the schedule. Hang on. Let me pause. Pause the music. Stop the music. Stop the cat. Stop. Why is the music still playing? Whatever. Here. Quantum Odyssey, Real Quantum Computing, was supposed to collab with Jubilee or Steph. Oops. Like any of these people, right? Scheduled for this date. Tomorrow, Sombra.
Great,
Run
we're
Out Odyssey.
interchangeable.
Well, no, and then there's some games that says like, you see, don't play Run Out with Steph, or don't play with Jubilee, or for that matter, in this game. Don't collab with Steph or Jubilee. I don't know why the music keep playing. I thought it would have stopped when I switched the scene. Anyway, and it's going. I have like all the way out to what is this? 2030, December 20th of 2030. And in the schedule that I got planned out, I have 5 games that are past due. Like they're going to be past due by the time I play them. So I need to do something. Oops, not the screen. Where is the ending screen? Here it is. I need to do something so that these games are in, like, within due dates. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a personal problem.
Point is, anytime I can like squeeze games in earlier, like do 2 games per stream, 3 games per stream. We did 3 games per stream, which is really good. It's gonna help my schedule out a bit. So I don't know if we can do this next week. We'll see. I'll play around the schedule and I'll see what happens. But thank you, Steph. Thank you for helping us with Cipheur and Quantum Odyssey. And what was the other one? Critters something? Everseeker Little Critters.
I don't know. All I can hear is the song.
Well, thank you, Steph, is what I'm saying.
All right. All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Regular schedule at the top of the corner screen every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. That's about 2.5 hours ago in your time zone. We got the Steph Thursday stream, which is what you just watched. We play puzzle games and object games, that sort of stuff with my co-host Stephanie. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's about 4 hours ago in your time zone. We got the solo Saturday stream where I play random games from my review queue. We got the Discord. Thank you, Jubilee, for doing the Discord command. Join the Discord for updates to the schedule and the announcements for off-schedule streams. Let's see. So today's Thursday. So tomorrow we're playing Sombra. And then Saturday we're playing random games, my review queue. Yeah. So I guess that's it. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the cap parade while I look for someone to raid.